game, and then Steve Kerr. We haven't gotten it to Steve Kerr. The bombshell that dropped right before tip-off Friday night from Adrian Wojnarowski, where Steve Kerr agrees to an extension, 2 years, $35 million, $17.5 million per season. I'm not going to lie, FP. I was stunned that the deal got done when it got done. I was a little bit shocked.
Well, we got to call somebody over there, whether it's Raymond or whoever, and let them know that they have to break that story like on a Monday where we can talk about it for the whole show.
And like
they can't do it Friday night when the flagship station for the Warriors is off the air. Like, that's big news, dude. We got to hold on to that one until Monday so we can do it's just like it breaks during our show.
A Monday 6:45 a.m.
Yeah. So first of all,
they hit the breaking news. Breaking news.
I hate to criticize Raymond, but he left us free tickets.
Hey, Raymond Ritter. Raymond Ritter. Yeah, that's FP Santangelo speaking. That's not me, Bonte Hill. Raymond, I love you, Raymond.
You can't you bury the lead if you break news like that on a Friday, and maybe they wanted to. Maybe that was calculated, or maybe that's just what it came. I'm joking, obviously, but hey, look, you get paid for your resume, and I have been very adamant, and I'm a coach guy. I don't blame coaches. And this whole fire Kyle Shanahan because he didn't win a Super Bowl. He's getting there, man. And he's one of the brightest coaches in the NFL. He's one of the brightest offensive minds in the world. I would run through a wall for Kyle Shanahan. And having a father as a coach, I've never, ever gone to blame the coach card. And everybody wants to blame Steve Kerr. A lot of people want Steve Kerr fired. Are they going to sign Steve Kerr back? I heard Steinmetz saying the other day, like they're telling you something by not signing him back. I'm like, no. In my mind, he's had his best year, one of his best years as a coach. And why is that? Because you're a leader of men. And when you have tragedy amongst your group and you see a coach die in front of you and you navigate that and negotiate that and you're still getting a team that's won 10 of his last 12, now 10 of the last 13, sometimes your best jobs as a coach doesn't result in a ring or a parade.
See, I agree with that.
It's how you get through a season.
I agree with you. In terms of
and Draymond suspension, I could go on, dude.
Yeah, navigating through the death of Decky was tough. And Steve Kerr being the lead man for that and handling that situation, he definitely gets a ton of credit for that. Not many coaches can handle that situation, no doubt. But I would push back on saying this is one of his better coach seasons.
That's fine
because when I think about this season,
you've been around for all the seasons.
When I think Steve Kerr, think about Jonathan Kuminga, for example, just one player there. How the heck was that player out of the rotation in mid-December? He was out of the rotation. Heck, the last time they played the Denver Nuggets at Chase Center, early January, and Jokic hit that 40-foot heave, remember Kuminga got benched for the final 18 minutes, and boom, a report comes out. He's not happy with the rotations. A lot of fans were clamoring for Kuminga. You got to play this guy. You got to play this guy. Don't see him last year. He's getting sporadic minutes this season. Then we hear that he can't play with Andrew Wiggins and blah, blah, blah. I would push back and say the feel for Steve Kerr, especially late in game situations. Take one game up in Sacramento, for example, up 22. You blow that lead. Moses Moody hits 4 threes in the fourth quarter. You pull him. Klay Thompson probably should have been benched, right? That's the problem you have with this team. When you don't trust a certain five, you got to have a good feel for the game. And I think more times than not, Steve Kerr hasn't had a good feel for the game. Now, I think he's been better recently, and it's a lot to navigate here. You got Chris Paul. You got guys, rookies who want to play. You got veterans who want to play 35-plus minutes. Klay wants to finish games. He wants to start all this stuff. It's a lot to deal with for a coach. But I would push back and say, Steve Kerr, with the record that the Warriors have right now, 2 games over 500, I don't think Steve Kerr's had a great season as head coach of the Golden State Warriors. He could fix that and turn it into a great season, but I think for most part this season, he hasn't had the best feel for this basketball team, FP.
Well, I'll defer to you because you're around it more than I am, but unless you're in the building, unless you're in the room, you don't know what's going on.
No doubt.
Not you, but everybody.
No, it's true.
And if you say fans are clamoring, if I'm a head coach at any level and I'm listening to fans, or I'm a general manager or president of a team and I'm listening to fans, that's the easiest way to get fired. We see what we see during the game. We think we love Kuminga and all of his talent. You want to see more of that, right? This guy's a high flyer. I compared him to Dominique Wilkins last week, and I think he reminds me of Dominique Wilkins a lot. But you don't know what's going on in practice. You don't know what's going on in the locker room. And there's so many things that when you're on the inside that you know a guy's attitude. Is he moping? Is he complaining? Is he whining to his teammates? Is he always hurt? Is he always on the table? Is he making excuses? Like there's guys that sit there and make excuses. You see him playing, you're like, look at all that talent, but like in behind. So I don't know why.
Right.
Steve knows everything. He knows what's going on. Do we want to see more of Kuminga? Are we seeing more of Kuminga? I would love for him to just play the whole damn game.
He played only 24 minutes and 41 seconds last night, and he's the one guy getting to the free throw line. That Pete got to the free throw line a career high 13 times last night. He's only playing 24 minutes, so you're already seeing the minute reduction from Jonathan Kuminga with other guys coming back, and he's making it imperative that Klay has to get his 38-28, and I get it. 28, 30 minutes for Klay off the bench. Okay, I get it, but I think the feel for Steve Kerr at times, again, it's just like Kuminga in a game like that where you need athleticism. You need guys who can go at the rim and put pressure on the rim. There's no way JK should only play 24 minutes in a basketball game like that and not be in foul trouble and only commit one turnover. How does that happen? How? Like, again, you're right. I'm not in the practice. I'm not in the locker room.
I watched Kuminga last night try to get to the rim a lot, and they were playing defense.
They were playing some good defense.
They weren't letting him get to the rim.
But he finishes with 19 and 6. And he's the one guy who does have the ability outside of Andrew Wiggins to put pressure on the rim. I don't know, man. I just think Steve, he's had an up and down season like the rest of the team.
How much did they give Shohei Ohtani? It's because he's the best player in baseball. They don't just give $17.5 million to a coach that doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, he's a 4-time champ.
He didn't forget how to coach overnight. And I understand your criticisms. They're fair. Trust me. There's a lot of times I wanted to criticize the manager of the Giants last year, but there was, there's a way to do it. And you're just like, whoa, what are we doing?
Trust me, I'm doing a television show.
What are we doing?
Listen, Steve knows a lot more about basketball.
And dude, you're making great points, and I see what you're saying, and that's what the fans are saying, and I'm not dumb. I see what you're seeing, but then I always go to maybe too much of experience, based on what we know as fans. And what actually goes on behind the scenes are way too different things.
No doubt. And trust me.
So that guy's forgot more basketball than I'll ever know. And I'm not going to sit here and openly go like, he should be doing this because, do I see the obvious things that you're seeing? Abso-freaking-lutely, dude.
Right.
I think Pajemski on a certain night is 21 years old now, that if he's not having a night, he's not having a night.
Right.
Now you got CP3 to go.
You got to have the short hook.
You got to be a short hook, yeah.
You got to have the short hook.
He's on a pitch count now.
While building them up. Here, look, Steve Kerr can coach. He didn't win 4 championships. He didn't come aboard to the Golden State Warriors and unlock the greatest shooting backcourt ever. They didn't just win 67 games on accident. Steve Kerr can coach. There's no doubt about that. I love the extension. I was kind of scratching my head thinking, boy, what are they going to do in the offseason if he doesn't come back? Because it did feel like for most of the season that he wasn't going to come back. It's like you don't see many coaches in the NBA or any profession come back for a lame duck season with no years on a contract. So Steve Kerr's done a lot of good. Bringing Klay off the bench, having that uncomfortable conversation. That's good coaching. Klay should come off the bench, but he also shouldn't be punished and not play, say, 25 to 30 minutes a game. You saw that yesterday. But also the feel of the game at times, for the most part this season, figuring out rotations. Like we've had reports of JK, right? Draymond Green's been suspended. That's tough to navigate when you don't have a Draymond Green out there on the floor. Andrew Wiggins, the dealings with Andrew Wiggins and finding the right pieces around him. I don't know. It's just been an up and down year for everybody on this team. Outside of Stephen Curry, everybody's had up and down seasons. Like, it's just, it is what it is. So, look, do I want another coach? No, but Steve Kerr, even last night again, I'm looking at this stat sheet, I'm looking at the minute allocation, I'm just kind of scratching my head. That's where I don't envy his job because there's way too many guys here. At some point, feelings are going to get hurt or you're going to have to sacrifice from the benefit of the team. Playing 11, 12 guys sometimes, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feels like you got to stick to your 8 or 9 guys, and if you get in foul trouble, then you dust off the rest of the guys. But the whole strength of numbers mantra, I love it. But then I love it until guys get out of rhythm.
For the long haul, I get it, but now it's a sprint. And you're making great points. Left. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you because you're making intelligent points and you have something to back them up. And it's what you hear fans saying all the time around town right now. And does a coach bear responsibility? Yeah, of course. $17.5 million, there's going to be a lot of responsibility to that.
No doubt.
And did he get paid for 4 championships? Or are there people smart enough in the room right now that's seeing what's going behind the scenes and what he's done this year to get them in a position to, Perfect timing. Apparently, they've been working on this for months behind the scenes, and it was just announced. But like perfect timing, right? You win 10 out of 12. Things are feeling good. Let's make an announcement. Steve's back. He's not a lame duck anymore. He's going to go out with Steph. He's going to go out with Draymond. Everything kind of lines up and syncs up.
Timing was weird, though, FP, wasn't it?
Well, the Friday
night.
You'll bury the lead. This is a great story.
Right. You would think maybe during the All-Star break.
And there's a responsibility to figure out the rotation. If it were me, you got to go with the 7 or 8 guys now that you're going to live and die with. There's no like pacing yourself at this point. I don't believe.
No, you got to go.
Let it rip. Like let it rip. And check your feelings at the door. And if you're not playing right now, you've had your chance.
Yep.
To this point, you've had your chance. I would love to see Kuminga a lot more. I don't really love the CP3 signing. I'm not a big fan, but like apparently, he has resume, and late in the season, he knows what he's going to do. He's going to add a different dimension to this team. But for me, Podziemski has to score. He has to be like a legit threat from 3-point land if he's going to like play all these minutes in the last minutes. So we'll see. I don't know. I was on the bandwagon until last night, and now I have reservations. And if that makes me a fair weather fan, so be it.